Hey y'all, Monk Joseph here with the Broken Buddha. Today I'm going to talk about, I don't know, kind of fun, kind of serious topic, the realities of MMA. So this is actually a longer discussion than people think it is. So it's supposed to be mixed martial arts, but what MMA has become is people that specialize in American boxing, Thai feet, BJJ, and wrestling. Typically speaking, there's other influences there, obviously, but that's what people think of as MMA. And um, I get into these discussions with people here and there online about what's reality, what's not reality. And the reality is, a lot of that's designed to be specified to that style of fighting. And, like, let's take it all the way back, right? So I don't have any issues with what the Gracies did. They're brilliant business people, and it made them millionaires. So, like, I'm not really knocking them for that. But when they did things like no point striking. At least this is what I was told from the people who were participating in fights back then. No point striking. If somebody has their knee on the ground, you can't kick them in the head. I mean, guys, you can. There's if you're an 18-year-old fighting in the Lei Tai in the East or West Coast for Kung Fu, you can get kicked in the head if your knee's on the ground. So that's just kind of a weak, wussy rule, in my opinion. Um, and it's also designed to protect ground fighters, and it creates this unrealistic expectation for people training in ground fighting. Like, you're going to train your whole life to drag your knee, and then you're going to fight a kung fu practitioner or a real street fighter, and you're going to forget, hey, I probably shouldn't drag my knee, and we're going to kick you in your head, and you might die. And that's one of the realities. But they are sports martial arts. They are created for your enjoyment. They are kept in rules to protect your enjoyment. Um, so there's with that one, and trying to think. Again, I don't have anything against what the Gracies did as business people. They got you to believe through their series of rules that their style was superior. Oh, and that's another thing about that time period. Everybody in Kung Fu, even to this day, knows who the top tier of Kung Fu was in that time period. They were like intentionally going after people who they knew weren't the top tier. Because I can think of at least three masters off the top of my head that we should have seen in the cage and we didn't, and there's a reason for that, right? So there's that part. And now we're going to today. So more recently, I actually tried to contact one of the bare knuckle MMA groups to ask or to try to get them to allow me to use all hand forms of kung fu, um, including a punch, like just everything, and they won't respond. But I did initially contact them, and I'll keep the emails forever in case people one day want to be funny. But I did contact them initially, like with a good business proposal and like exploratory concept, that we could get behind, giving some leeway here and there. The second time I was like, oh, I see, you guys want to still believe in Santa Claus and sports martial arts. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and leave you alone. And they still didn't hit me back. And these are people that could just call me and be like, yeah, come on down, sign a waiver, and have a discussion, maybe sign the waiver on camera or whatever, saying that you understand what you're doing. So these are people who could call me out and they don't. So when you guys are like, step in the cage with a non-compliant opponent, I have tried. The reason why we can't do these hand forms with gloves on, because you can't get that mobility. So if I'm checking somebody and I want to pop them with a wrist strike or an earth strike in the nose or anywhere, not saying that that's an end all be all move, but the point is I can't do what I'm trained to do. I'm either restricted by the gear or by the rules. So I don't know why they didn't hit me back. That's none of my business. I've done everything that I can to try to get in the ring and bare knuckle and show you guys what a kung fu expert can do. And it's just not possible. It's not a reality. So I don't know if it's a liability because I'm 41 and might get injured. I don't know if it's a liability because I'm not going to hold back. I mean, I'm not going to intentionally kill anybody, but if I see a moment where it's like my life or theirs, I'm obviously going to go for something, and nothing like crazy rule breaking. There's things you can do in kung fu that are very, very brutal and nasty that, like, it's not gonna look that bad, but it is gonna be that bad. I'm not gonna collapse anybody's esophagus, but if I whip ST9 and don't leave a mark and knock them out, everyone's gonna have a huge problem with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the realities. And again, I'm honestly, I'm really don't have much against like modern MMA. There's a lot of really clean fighters out there that, if you're a average Joe Schmo fighting one of these guys on the street and they clip one of your buttons hard enough, you're gonna die. Martial arts has nothing to do with one style being, styles don't fight people. People fight people. That style's not deadly. That person is deadly, right? But this whole idea that, like, martial arts doesn't work in real situations. Well, it worked in like wars for thousands of years, and I'm sure you've never been in a war, but I've never been in that kind of hand-to-hand combat war either. But we can all imagine how brutal that was. So, I mean, if you want to believe that what you see in the cage and in the ring is like real ultimate fighting. That's fine. That's what they need you to believe so they can collect your money, so you can go to their schools, so you can run around talking about how scary they are. It's just a bunch of rep, man. Everybody's just pumping their own reps. So there you have it. That is the realities of MMA and martial arts and kung fu. Um, yeah, guys, I may or may not keep trying to get in the ring. And it wasn't just me. I even had one of the heads of Wing Chun. Well, we have a in between hierarchy right now, but one of the should be the next head of Wing Chun in Maryland. I even had him try to contact them, and I know he did it like calmly, coolly, and respectfully. And like I said, my first email was respectful. The second one was less respectful, but still, man, these fools wouldn't even they wouldn't even like try to call my bluff. So it was really kind of pathetic in my opinion. But moving forward, let's all just try to live in reality. Train every day. You don't know what's going to happen, so you should be training. If you want to have that kind of lifestyle and learn how to defend yourself and learn ancient arts of war, like it is fun, it is enjoyable. You'll be healthier than everyone else, but you definitely shouldn't be like you should train it as hard as you can, but you shouldn't be out there trying to use it. The only reason I was trying to get into the ring is so that I could bring about some of the health stuff and religious stuff that I've learned, and it's the only way and the best platform to get. So that's what I was after. Um, but yeah, guys, just train to be healthy first and foremost, and then worry about defending yourself, and then worry about becoming the ultimate world tough guy or whatever it is you think you're gonna do in the ring or in the street. Yeah, there's always somebody tougher, and I'll leave you with some words from where I grew up in Baltimore. Ain't nobody too pretty to get got. Thank you for stopping by the Broken Buddha. Peace and blessings.